Kind of dark. What is recording? Okay, well, we'll pause. Welcome, Roy. Can you hear me okay? Oh, let's see, mute, okay. Okay, no problem. No, I cannot hear you. Oh, let's see. Why?
Okay. Now
there I hear you.
Yeah. Hi, Mel.
Okay, let's see if I have to adjust my volume here. Yeah, this is my first real Zoom recording, so it's all new to me.
Yeah, it's quite new to me as well.
Yeah, some years ago, they had Spreecast. I was pretty good with Spreecast, but a lot more things to kind of set up and do with Zoom. And I'm glad I did a test call. It took me like 20 minutes to schedule a meeting with my wife. So, but that went well. Well, welcome, Roy. We appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
So Roy and I have crossed paths in a number of different places online, as we each are building our own business or businesses. And so I invited him to come talk so we can talk about our businesses or entrepreneurship in general and see how it goes. And of course, we can always do another one in the future.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be one of the first.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's and with anything in the beginning, you gotta start at zero.
Yeah.
So
No, but I find video conferencing is quite nice actually. It's,
yeah. I can hear you fine, but it's like it's coming from my computer rather than through my headset. So I must have done something when I set it up. Anyway, I can hear you fine. Maybe I have to have one.
good.
I wonder, let me take the headset off just real quick. How do you hear me now? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it quite very well.
Oh, then it must not even be working with the headset.
Okay.
Boy, that makes me look pretty silly.
That's the joy with electronics. It always works very well until you really need it.
Yeah. When I was taking me 20 minutes to schedule a call with my wife, it was like, now I know why we need staff. You know, somebody they're in charge of all this. They've got this all set up. I just got to come on and talk.
Yeah, that's right. Now we have.
So, Roy, yeah, if you want to give a little backstory on yourself, whether it's your life or just your business background.
Well, I don't have any business background at all. I am an officer in the armed forces in Norway, still is, but I'm not working for the armed forces. I'm working in another entity, providing the armed forces with supplies, etc. But all this business related activity I think it started 10, 15 years ago. I signed up for 2 years of education, formal education with network management, Novell, if you know Novell networks, and also a master in office development for Microsoft. So 2 years education, which I did in parallel with being on active duty in the Air Force. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's where it all started. The interest, or you can say it manifested when I started that course, because I've always been interested in computers and you know, making something sensible out of using computers. And about 10 years ago, me and a colleague, we started a company developing websites and web store solutions for our clients. That lasted for about 3 years. It was a very competitive niche to work in. So we were only two people. We couldn't handle our business at the same time as project management, which is my primary work, primary job.
Mhm.
So it got a little bit too much. And last year, by coincidence, I bumped into affiliate marketing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that has led me where I am today, with
Ex-
6 different domains, and 4 of them active. So a lot of stuff has happened the last 10 months. Actually.
Hmm.
So that is my background and business related background. I'm learning as I go forward, and it's a very steep learning curve, the whole thing.
Yes, it can be, and it's never ending.
No, it isn't.
I,
It's, you think you have a good picture of the situation, and then something pops up which you
mhm.
haven't thought about. So that's the interesting part. I guess
Yeah,
you have quite a lot of years behind you in
yeah, it's been
business.
25 plus years of business in general.
Mm.
But even back in '97, I think is when I started selling on eBay originally. And and you see the cycles too. eBay was very, very good in the beginning because it was new. And somebody living out in the middle of nowhere, when are they going to find some of these things to be able to purchase? And all of a sudden, now they got everything available.
Yep.
And I started by selling used books. And so if they're looking for a particular, well, it'd be pretty hard for them to find if you're living, far away from a city or something like that. So I'd get buy a book for $1 and turn around and sell it for $70 or $80. It's just the demand was just boom. And in selling new and used books eventually led me to get into publishing. And then there you go, a whole nother learning curve.
Yeah. Oh, it has been interesting to read your updates on Wealthy Affiliates about your book adventure.
Yeah, and it's way beyond where I ever thought we would be.
Mm.
Um, I moved to the Philippines here in September 2014. I had 188 book titles in print, which was amazing in itself. For a long time, I had the most I had was like 29 book titles. And but then Amazon, well, CreateSpace, which was a subsidiary of Amazon, they you could publish a book for free, and that changed the game. Because my books before that, I had to spend money for the setup costs and lots of expenses, and then with CreateSpace and Amazon, you could zero, no cost. So that's allowed me to go then, to 188 book titles, and now I have, I believe, 1,126 book titles in print, which is just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it's a large number.
Yeah, and a lot don't sell. It's a periodic thing. Usually, about 25% of my book titles will sell in a month, and it might only be one copy or a couple copies, but the rest may not do nothing that month. So it really, and I'm gonna pick that up again this year and get doing some more with that. So it's kind of like that's an on again, off again thing, and it's passive income. Once some books are done and they're on Amazon, they're selling.
Yeah.
And that still is my primary source of income. And I'm working with affiliate marketing in that to try to have it to diversify, have another source of income.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow Amazon may not be there.
Yeah.
There goes my money. Or maybe they decide they don't want me on their platform. I mean, big tech lately is
They
allow and what they do.
Yes, it is. Now they've changed the boss as well. Bezos has left. So where the new guy is going to take Amazon is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. I mean, we have with the pandemic over the last year created a huge global uncertainty, and then big tech has come, pulling the strings on everybody, and it is challenging, and then it's hard to stay in front of it. It really is.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It is.
We keep learning, and that book you just referred me to that I started reading, they were pointing out some of the pros and cons of some of these platforms, and it's true. I started building my YouTube channel, but YouTube could come along and they could change it. They could do whatever they want, and they was last year they changed how they monetized, and people who were getting paid all of a sudden weren't getting paid anymore.
Yeah.
So we really cannot be dependent on any one source of income online.
No.
And so I'm trying to diversify. And again, that book that you recommended to me, automation. I really like his concept of automation. Because,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, you had your two-man website company there, and I'm one person. It's just too much to try to manage,
Yes, it is. When I started in March last year, I thought, okay, I've done this before, building a website and stuff like that. It's easy, but I only scratched the surface of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And as I started to learn, I got a bit eager to get things going. Got another domain, started to write on that domain. I got another one, and then thing just it explodes. It's like a flower just pops open, and you got all these petals around. It starts getting more and more and more. So I remember one blog post on Wealthy Affiliate where we were talking about social media. And I said that I was on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. I don't remember who it was who said, be careful not to spread yourself too thin. Mm-hmm. And I see that now. You got all these social media channels channels, all these channels to try. You need, in a way, to be on several of those because, as you say, you don't know what one channel will do. Suddenly they change the algorithm. As I started with Pinterest, I got almost immediately suspended, and I still don't know why. The same thing on Twitter. I still don't know why. So that's quite interesting because the website, which is working quite well, the one with about my dog and the pets niche, it's on automatic almost at the moment. How about 20-25 posts on that one and continuously growing traffic on it? And it was banned from Pinterest due to spammy activity on the website. And I tried to get them to tell me and try to have them look into what's happening with my website that has caused them to take that decision. And I checked it with a lot of tools. I asked other entities to check my website, and it's okay. It's no problem with it. So they just shut the door on the website completely. So it's interesting.
And it's so frustrating, especially, I don't think I've been shut down or banned anywhere yet. But, you know, they don't warn you, it seems like. It's hard to find out what, they say, what happened. Yeah. It's hard to contact any kind of support.
Yeah.
To try to get it resolved. I mean, it's your business. It can be your livelihood, and they just take it away. You know.
Yeah.
I have my problems. The only problems I've had has been in doing my publishing in my books. Is I've had to deal with Amazon support, and it's a nightmare. It's very frustrating. They don't even have sufficient knowledge to be doing what they're doing. You have no recourse to anyone higher up than them. There's no supervisor to appeal to. And so you end up just kind of like hitting heads back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Until either it gets resolved or I give up trying, you know. And it's for me, mostly it's because I reprint a lot of books. So they're public domain, the copyright is expired. And they would usually ask to prove that it's in the public domain, that it's freely available for me to publish. And I always send them 5 different links that show that it's in the public domain. And even that doesn't work, you know, sometimes. So it's and that's where I finally stop, because it's like, I've had enough. It's too stressful, you know. Now I need to do something else.
Yeah.
And then, okay, it's been okay for a while. I guess I can go back in and that's where I'd love to have a person who is very calm and cool, and let them deal with all of that, because it is just very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yeah. No. Today I had about 30 minutes where I, at work, where I was binge watching YouTube videos with Spencer Mitchell, the builderpreneur, and he told his background story in relation to. He's got a very nice playlist if you're starting into affiliate marketing and venturing into the social media side of it, where he talks about his experience, just as you have done. And he said that it was quite unnerving the first time he was shut down on, I think was it Facebook or what he was on? Suddenly, just the plug was pulled and he was there on, had no other channels to work on. the first time.
Mhm.
So he got the message very good, or he gave a very good picture of how important it is to diversify, as you say. Spread yourself around on several platforms. Don't stay on the same, just the one platform. And also on Legendary Marketer, the affiliate training where Matt goes through how to set up your Facebook fan page, the business accounts, and your ads accounts as well. Remember to set up several in case one of them gets shut down, because it will happen. So yeah.
And yeah, and then you got to be careful of the topics. I know, yeah, there's people, their niche or niche, however you pronounce it, is health. And, you know, they don't like natural type cures, anything that seems to go like against big pharma or medical. People are having their accounts suspended, or, and of course, anything political now is really off limits.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that's it's crazy to me because you know, I'm an American, and freedom of speech is like huge in America.
Yeah.
And now today, no, they can
No.
shut you down for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it isn't even based on fact. It's just if they don't like what you're saying, they shut down half of the conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been very careful with.
Yeah, we have the same tendency here in Norway as well, as a result of what has happened in America. So it's spreading. Everything, it's getting more visual on the political scene, taking a lot of what has been specific to America, you know, with Black Lives Matters, and also, you know, the president election and the polarization has gotten a lot more visual in Norway as well. So I read about it in one of the major newspapers the other day, and the journalist said that we have to watch out for it. So the same thing doesn't happen in our country as well. But I think the ball is rolling, and if you shut down one side of it, that is equally bad as, you know, letting everything out in the open. So the balance, where are you going to put the line or set the line, or the limit? Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I don't think it's going to play out very well, but it's going to be interesting to see in the next few years exactly what all happens. But
yeah,
even despite that, you know, people should. It shouldn't be a discouragement to if somebody wants to become an entrepreneur.
No.
You just got to learn the rules of the game, and yes, the rules do change often sometimes.
Yeah, you have to be flexible.
Yeah, be flexible. Avoid the hot topics. Avoid religion. Avoid, you know, politics. The health thing, you know, you've got to be really, really careful with that. Even if you can back up everything you're saying, it's unfortunate because I look for that kind of information. I'd rather look for a healthy, a natural solution than to go and get drugs.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, where like Wim Hof had his event here February 13th and 14th, and it was really powerful just to hear, to learn, to do the breathing exercises, a little bit of the cold water.
I'm doing the cold water every morning. There's very few days during a week which I don't do it. I usually do it every morning. It's not fun, but it's so nice afterwards.
I can see the advantage. Yeah, I understand what he's saying, but one reason I moved to the Philippines,
Yeah. Yeah,
get away from the cold. But I can see, yeah, where he's talking about your, the veins constricting and then the warm water, or getting to open it up, and it's creating that flexibility that your body needs. And I've got high blood pressure, so I can see the advantage how that could help. And your heartbeat will be lowered. Well, then that's less pressure on your system. So I need to slowly move into that. So
yeah.
But again, if they block that from people, being able to get that information, it's just, yeah, it's not only one-sided, it's just, it's reckless and dangerous. But anyway, we don't need to, that's maybe a whole nother call
Yeah.
or talk about that.
I didn't have the time to attend the Wim Hof event. I didn't see it.
Oh, had you
So,
paid for it though? Did you pay for it?
no, I didn't
okay.
pay for it. I either. So one of the first thing I couldn't find it, but it was luck because that weekend was very messy, very busy.
Okay.
So I hadn't had time to attend it in either way.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it was good. I really I enjoyed it a lot. So
yeah.
got a lot out of it, and took precautions, and supposed to do 4 rounds of breathing. I only did 3 because I didn't have somebody really to watch me. And but yeah, it was really interesting. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you have faced as an entrepreneur?
Well, the biggest one is I'm an information nerd, a knowledge nerd. So I very easily dive down into the rabbit hole and just hoarding information, reading. So that has been my biggest challenge, actually. And, but after about 3 months, when I was reaching the 3 months bump, then I attended it was an event with Dan Graziosi and Tony Robbins. What was it called?
New World, New You?
No, it was in June, August last year.
Oh, last year, okay.
Yeah, it was an event which led to a sales pitch for the Mastermind education platform that Dan Graziosi is behind. So that woke me up really because the event itself was pretty good. It managed to put my mind in, I managed to pull myself a little bit away and look at what I was doing and started to get organized. Back to basics, get organized. What do I want to do? Where do I want to focus? And then I had the 3 niches, which I'm driving now. The pets niche, the coffee, beer, and gadget website, which has been a bit dormant last months. I started focusing on the affiliate marketing part of it, the make money online side, because it's interesting to try to get it to work. As I entered into that niche, the biggest challenge is that there are a lot of people doing it. So it's easy to get dragged into not being unique.
Hmm.
Find your own way to do stuff. Well, yeah, you can not copy, but you can model those who are or have paved the way and do good. But try to put your own special way to convey the message, to do stuff. Be unique. That has really been the challenge. But it has. But the biggest part, as I said, is information overload. Actually, I can relate to it from my education as a pilot as well. The information overload part is very familiar. So I managed after some time, after a while, to breathe a little bit, let my shoulders relax, and start thinking about what I was doing. What dawned on me, that was another thing as well, that I thought that I had a very clear vision of what I really wanted to reach, which goal I wanted to aim for in the end, the big goal. And I hadn't really put it down on paper. So that's where the 15-day challenge with Legendary Marketer came in. It helped me to put that in. I had to sit down and write the business plan. And also the warm-up week to the One Funnel Away challenge was very good to really zoom into what I wanted to reach. And when I got that in place, it was easy to sit down and plan. But I'm still very easily distracted, dive into that information rabbit hole. So, but I've been, yeah, that's the biggest challenge actually.
It's it's hard. As long as I've been in business, it's you know, they tell you, you know, focus on something, do it for a year, you know, just you know, put your blinders on, and
yeah.
But and that's, I can see where that is true to a point, but I don't accept it all the way, because if you've gotten yourself going this way, and maybe it's the wrong way, and then, you know, and you don't know that if you're not, you know, like I try to do a little bit of learning every day. So, but you know, I work, do a little bit of learning, read books, watch videos, and because those insights that you receive could save you a whole lot of time going the wrong way, or it could help become more efficient. You know, I think especially for us entrepreneurs who have limited finances, you know, if you got the money, well, gee, you could hire all this stuff to get done, and just sit back and manage it, kind of like, and you could hire out your content, you know, virtual assistants, they take care of your social media.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, but and of course there are some software and things like that that can help schedule things out and help a little bit. But it's for one person, it's a lot of work. It's a big challenge, and they also tell you to be passionate about what you're doing. Well, you might seem like you're passionate in the beginning, and then you get going into it, and then you realize, no, this is not for me. You know, it's I think it was in that book you recommended, I think, information just becomes a blur.
Yeah, it does.
You know, we became a lot of us became entrepreneurs to get away from the 9-to-5 job. But if in running our business, the business actually becomes like a 9-to-5 job, you know, it's almost like it becomes the same thing. And then we're the boss, but all these little things that we have to do are really like the little bosses. You got to do content, you got to do social media, you got to do this, and you got to do that. And then it just, it's frustrating. And I'm not even looking to get rich quick. I mean, these people that talk, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, it's like, I don't even care about that. I like it when they're like, well, it's not very much, but you could earn, $1,000 a month doing this way. I'd be ecstatic to earn another $1,000 a month.
Yes,
I'm not after the big. I was after the big win for a little while here. This year is, you're probably aware of what my goals, but I had that goal, but I'd have been happy with anything under that.
Yeah, but I have attended some webinars on Mind Valley. You know the platform?
I've heard of Mind Valley, yes, and listened to some of their videos.
Yeah, and the guy behind that, his name, I don't remember his name, but he held a masterclass on mindset and was talking about the acronym is M for Mike, T, I would say target. Let's see. The M was for minimum, I think it is. The T was target, and it was MTO. The O was standing for outrageous. Instead of using, as many use the SMART goals. So he said that, you can set yourself, I want to reach $100,000 by December. But what happens if you don't meet that? You're firmly set on meeting it, and you're firmly set on meeting for the first 60 days, $1,000, and by 6 months, you want to reach $50,000 or $10,000 a month. What happens when you don't reach it? You're being so focused on it, so you're going to get depressed for a while, I guess. Mm-hmm. And where does the motivation go? So he said that if you set yourself a minimum, which is, okay, I got the minimum. And if you hit the target, that would be great. And then you have the outrageous part, which is the $100,000 a month goal. So by using that, you have a safety valve, a valve that relieves a bit of pressure on you. So you don't, if you don't reach the goals you set, so if you don't hit the wall and get disappointed and now go into procrastination because you don't reach your goals. So I think you had a very good point on that one. So I've shifted a little bit from my firm set crazy plan as I published it in January. I'm quite behind on several places on it, but I firmly believe that I will get a good result for this year if I just still keep to my plan and my weekly schedule. So, but I have written down that those 3 letters, the MTOs, and I measure my progress towards those. I think it works great. So.
Yeah, I think, I might have mentioned it in one of my posts here recently about money is a measurement, but it's not a very good measurement sometimes. Like say you set these big goals, but we don't know what, when people get doing, they don't know when that money's gonna really come. There could be nothing for that first 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Yeah. Especially if like with the wealthy affiliate, some people, they're using the free organic traffic, and it takes 6 months for Google to even recognize that you exist, and they're seeing if you're being active or not being active. And if all we're doing is looking at the bank accounts, like man, I'm doing all this work and there's nothing, there's nothing, there's nothing. So I do aim for something up there, but I just focus on the process as best I can. And
Yeah.
of course, I'm doing other learning and stuff. And my first two websites that I did with Wealthy Affiliate, I've deleted them. And I put a lot of work into them. I even thought about, well, maybe I could sell them. It's like, no, I just want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I want to, because it just got there again. The passion wasn't there. It was like, yes, I know if I do reviews, I do reviews, I do reviews. You know, you got the affiliate links in there, but it's just so dry, so repetitive,
Yeah.
and no joy, no passion, no joy, and it's a lot of work to type or to write.
Yes,
And
it
that's
is.
why I have kind of like moved towards YouTube at the beginning of this year, because it's just a matter of talking and well, I love talking, so it's like that's not a problem.
Yeah, but that's perfect. YouTube is perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it takes time too, and but I pretty much have falling a little behind, but then you catch up, and then you fall behind, then you catch up.
Yeah, but
But
there's still content coming out, being
yeah,
published
yeah,
on a fairly regular basis.
yeah, and I know I wouldn't even have to do the Wealthy Affiliate blog post, but I love doing them. That's where you got community,
Yeah.
and I know my posts, well, they may be read by a lot more people than I realize, but you always have the same people commenting almost, every time, just and but it's still you're engaged, and that's what you're missing in your own blog post. You're lucky if anybody ever says anything, and you're like, well, is it having any value? Unless you're actually making money, if you're making some sales, then you're having an effect.
Yeah.
So, but so it's community and Wealthy Affiliate. I think I pick up some of my referrals to Wealthy Affiliate through my Wealthy Affiliate blog post. I'm not sure on that, but that is available. And if somebody is searching and they find something and that brings them into Wealthy Affiliate and they join, then they become my referral. So,
Yeah.
And that is paying for Wealthy Affiliate for me. So it's the one thing that's going right is, I am making money with Wealthy Affiliate.
No, that's
so, yeah, otherwise I probably would have quit by now.
Yeah. I'm not making money. Yeah. Sorry.
It pays for itself, so I got nothing to lose, and
Yeah.
and I've learned so much. There again, well, I met you as well as others, and you've given me some valuable tips. And this last book you recommended it's a real gem. I'm
Yes, it is. I was surprised when I started reading it, and yeah, and as he said in the book, this book should have cost a lot more than what I'm selling it for. So,
right.
Yeah.
And Legendary Marketer has that same premise about the low ticket item, which actually they're losing money on, but if it leads to the higher ticket, the upsell, that's where the money, that's what pays for itself. And that's where you have an advantage on your competition, because most people, and this would have been me before, you look at, well, gee, I'm paying forever, I'm losing money, I'm not, that's it, I'm done, I'm not spending money on ads, I'm losing money every time somebody buys it, I'm losing money. If all it is that one book. But it's taking and getting those upsells in there, and that generates, now you are making money and paying for itself. And most people don't realize that, I don't think. They just see, and that's why I've never paid for advertising ever, and certainly not for any of the books I've published. One, it's not, I don't think it's necessary for the books I published so much as because a reprint, people are already familiar with that author and they're already familiar with the title because it was published however many years ago. And so they're looking for it. They do a search. Oh, there it is on Amazon. Buy it. And any books that are original of mine have not been anything of any kind of a quality that I would even waste my time spending money on advertising. But I am planning in the future, hopefully soon, to finally get my own content out there in books and such.
Yeah,
And,
I that is one of my long-term goals as well. Try to get my own content out. I have several ideas, but I cannot venture into that now. It will not work. But I'm sitting down in between and jotting down, ideas, writing a little bit. So I'm gonna gather it, organize it, and see what comes out of it.
Yeah, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
And another thing with the Wealthy Affiliate blog post that at least makes sense to me in the short term is, so I published that. I'm able to take that same post, put it into a private Facebook group because it's not going to show up as duplicate content. And then I even take it and I use it on YouTube. I turn it into a video. And at first, all I had was success in 2021 day, whatever. And then now I've learned to, start adding a little bit of a title after that, because people aren't searching for success in 2020. It's not going to hit any kind of keywords or it's going to be very low ranking. And because it's generally the posts that have done very well for me are something else. There are some reviews. I promoted Tony Robbins' event, which was my huge. That was the biggest thing I put on YouTube so far, and over 1,300 views, and I picked up 13 subscribers from it. And so I know those are the kind of things I'm looking for. And then I didn't even have any special kind of affiliate links. It's just getting that information out there, and people are searching and finding and coming to my channel, and then maybe they'll get looking at other stuff.
That's quite interesting when you say it, because my TikTok account, and I see that on other accounts as well who do the same thing. I just put something out there in the beginning, didn't get that much views and likes, but I noticed that the posts that are a bit longer, not with any affiliate links and stuff like that, but good information, gets a lot more interest than all the typical TikTok videos. The sales pitch. And I'm looking at one guy now, a young black guy called Daryl Gray Jr., which is doing great on TikTok, and he has good value on his posts. Every post, very clear message, not that pushy selling message, but informative, and he gets a lot of views and likes. So it's kind of interesting to see that. And then you have the other type posts where they're flashing money. Look here, how much I've gotten. I'm a millionaire at 20 years old. All that thing, and I don't believe it. It's not believable. I don't trust it. So
no, it's too easy to be fake, and actually people have been caught red-handed, doing exactly that. They rented this mansion so they could go in there and look like, oh, this is my home, or you just go down to the car dealership and, oh, can I take this car for a ride? And then you stand in front of it. This is my car.
Spencer Mitchum, he in one of his videos, he showed, I think it was the second one or third one in the introduction to affiliate marketing. He said, look here, I'm going to show you how easy it is to fake the numbers. Those who show testimonials from ClickBank sales or JVSU sales. Look here, you just go in here and then you change the numbers. And suddenly you have both the graphics and the numbers say that you got $1,000 sales the first day. It's easy.
Yeah.
So
Another good point is, even if the numbers are accurate, what they're
Yeah.
doing is they're telling you gross income. And if they're paying for ads,
yeah,
half of that they probably paid out in ads, or more.
yes, yeah, and that's the other part of it. He
Yeah.
also said that that was very good. He said that, and be aware, he said, that the guys who are presenting those numbers, either they have faked the numbers or they're paying a lot of ads. Sorry, a lot to ads. Then doing paid ads to get those numbers. So,
Right.
so he
So
was,
you got to subtract
yeah.
what they paid to find out what they really made. Yeah, and it's, that 6-figure suddenly becomes 5-figure or less.
Yeah. Now, I
Yeah.
believe in organic traffic. That's I am a firm believer of that. Be an authentic, genuine, and be yourself, and let your personality do the selling.
I'm going to try paid ads this year.
Yeah.
With that book that we both, just have been reading, and that's it. Come up with I've got to write a book. That's going to be, $5 or whatever. And then you've got the upsells and go, but I'm not going to do the giant upsells, maybe masterminds at some point, but no live events or nothing like that. I'm pretty much stuck right here in the Philippines. So I'm not, unless people wanted to come here, which, to me, that's a whole lot of, there again, you need a team. You can't do that by yourself. I don't think you can do that by yourself, but, so I'm going to give that a try, because there again, that's an automated system. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, either an automated, and if that doesn't work, then I just continue doing what I'm doing and continue to publish more books. My wife, we're getting her set up to where she has her own business account, and we're going to get her set up with Amazon, and it's a lot of legal hoops to jump through over here. And get her going. She's got her own money coming in that way, because that's mostly all I'm worried about is if something happens to me, that her and our daughter are provided for. So I think that's, we're going to get doing that. And I've got some books that were rejected, book titles that were rejected by Amazon that she could go ahead to do, and they should pass easily. So that's one way around the system.
Yeah, well, that's good. I started. I've been warming up my wife as well to affiliate marketing and to start her own business. She has had some ideas herself, and she's from Turkey. So when I am retiring, I think we will be spending more time in Turkey than here when she's not working. She's 12 years younger than me, so she has to work a bit longer before she can retire. But she has, she's a very good singer, and she enjoys to cook. So we are planning on, and she has inherited from her father. She's very good at arts, drawing, colors, design, etc. Things like that. So we're going to look at those 3 niches as well and try to do something with those. So I have set her up with a YouTube channel. She's thinking about what name she will have, and that will be about music and singing. And then we are going to start our own very small cafe with just space for 4 to 6 tables, and a very minimum type of menu. So that's our plan a little bit further down the road. So
Great, sounds good.
yeah. And yesterday I set up my my print-on-demand shop on Printify and Etsy. So I'm going to get my wife and our oldest son to do design, to put on T-shirts and mugs, and to see if we can get a little bit, another side income as well going.
There's so many possibilities. It's I can't even remember this Zazzle, Zazzle. It's where you got T-shirts and all kinds of things too, and I have at least got one T-shirt there that I created years ago, and sales are pretty rare, but it's there. If I promoted it, I might be able to get. Probably be able to get more, but there again, it's just sometimes we get doing too many things or too spread out.
Yeah.
But it's part of life. It's what makes it interesting for me. It's trying to make it more like a game now instead of actual work.
Yeah. I think that's a good.
Yeah, and what makes it more fun and less stressful. And fortunately now my finances are we're doing fine. In fact, I could probably take 3 or 4 months off. The money's going to keep coming.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's I wish I would have discovered passive income years ago.
Me too. When I discovered what this really was, I said to myself, "My God, where have I been? Why haven't I discovered this yet?"
And it was more necessity that when I got divorced in 2012 and lost just about everything except for my small publishing business at the time. And I decided, it's like, now you got a blank slate again. It's like, well, where do I want to go? Where do I want to live? What am I going to do? And I decided then I was going to move to the Philippines. I had visited here prior. I had sponsored children here that I visited back in the 80s and such. And my ex-wife is from the Philippines. And beautiful people, loving people. And so that was my game plan. And I would, I needed to save up as much as I could to pay for the expenses of moving, but I also had to have income here, passive income to live. Because as a foreigner, I cannot work. I couldn't work if I wanted to. There are ways, but it's, again, complicated, lots of money. But I'm not allowed to work here, so I have less to fall back on than if I were in the United States. And I can just go grab another 9-to-5 job that tide me over. So I worked 2 years really hard, and that's where I built up my books to 188 books. It was looking good, and then I made the move over here. And the first year, I did not work 1 full year, no work. I just got out. I'm single, get out and enjoy my life. And the income got dropping. And I ignored it. It's like, no, I'm retired. And but I had a great time. Many years worth of learning in that 1 year. So many experiences, so much drama. And then finally it's like, well, I've got to get working again because this is not working. And so I went back to work because I really took myself down to where I had almost nothing. I didn't even have money I had a small place to stay. It was 11 square meters. That was my house, 11 square meters.
Well, that was big.
Okay for one person, but very crowded for 2 people. But it was right on the beach, watch the sunset every night, sit out there, watch the sunset. It was beautiful. And but I couldn't afford to eat. So I got credit at a restaurant down the road, I'd go there and I'd have breakfast every morning. And that'd be my only meal for the day, a couple of scrambled egg sandwiches. And then I had, I could have water through the day. And then the first of every month, they were the first people I went and paid. And then there we go, we started all over again. And then, of course, I had to get back into working on books to try to get building that income back up. But it was a good 4, 5, 6 months or something where I had to do that. And fortunately, when I came to the Philippines, I was overweight. I was about 280 pounds. And I dropped down to 185 pounds. I lost 100 pounds during this time of fasting.
Yeah, fasting, long fasting.
And it's okay because you're fat. That's food. So I wasn't panicking at all. It's still food. You get the water in your system. You're fine. I wish I wouldn't have gained it back. I gained a good part of it back. So I screwed up there. But it's all part of life. And then that's it. We got building it up, and then I'd work for a period of time, and then I'd take some time off, and then I'd work. So it's kind of like fluctuated like that ever since. And this year, of course, has been nonstop work, except for a day or so ago. I didn't do anything. It's reading. No, it's reading another book, listening to another guy on YouTube about really being present in the now. We have everything we need right now, and and the present is perfect. So getting into that mantra and that mentality and belief system, and yeah, it's really altered my thinking. It's certainly removed a whole lot of stress. And anyway, it's interesting. It's all a journey. Life is just all a journey.
The journey I have since I've had since I started with affiliate marketing is the personal growth part has been tremendous.
Yeah.
Getting to learn myself on a completely new level. Being able to see things much more in perspective to what I really have in my daytime job, because I got a very good job. And then getting to see life, how it's been after I met my wife, because we have been married for 11 years this year. Been together for 13 years, and those 13 years has been like a whole lifetime. There's so much things happening. I get goosebumps just talking about it. It's been very challenging, and we have been very, very low down, quite desperate when it was at its darkest moments during that period. But we managed to pull through it, and having that experience to build on that experience. One thing, we managed to get things in order, sorted out, and it got a bit quiet. You know what I mean? Things got a bit mundane. Things were happening every day, the usual stuff. You start to die a little bit because there's no challenge, no push. So last year, the pandemic hit. I started with affiliate marketing. There was a lot of changes with work for my wife, and she have had her troubles with her friends, which made her switch out her friends actually and start from scratch again. So we have been building our life again in a way since last year. I started building it up towards something completely new. And the drive I get from affiliate marketing, the drive I get from speaking with you, both chatting with you on wealthy affiliate or wherever, and also getting a bit dragged into the personal growth niche as well. The Agras Yossi events, Tony Robbins events, uh, Bob Proctor, and there's some others in that niche as well, which just attending the webinars and the motivation, the if you look away from the sales pitch, getting people into the coaching programs, we get into the things that really give you something to grow on, techniques, methods to handle stress, handle difficult situations, keep going no matter how difficult things get, not seeing any results from your affiliate marketing endeavors or your book business. Getting the tools to handle this. I've learned meditation last year, and I'm doing that as well every morning, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes every morning. And the cold showers, the meditation, the day is so nice, even if it's not a nice day. If you catch my meaning.
Yeah.
So that has made me, in relation to affiliate marketing, I see a potential niche to venture into after. Yeah, I have it there. Maybe live coach, some coaching in the future. I don't know, maybe, but it's there. I have the tools. I've been trained as an instructor in both martial arts and physical exercise through my whole life. So I have that background as well. So I know how to motivate people. When you do some training, physical training and exercise, and it's a bit of the same thing, the same mechanism. So I've taken that into what I do with affiliate marketing as well. Now I'm diverting 90 degrees out of what we were talking about, but in other case, the personal growth part of it has given a lot, and made me being able to put all that what me and my wife has gone through the last 13 years in getting it organized and managed to take a lot more out of it than we originally had gotten out of our experience. Taking it and using it as a dynamo, a battery, to just pull out energy to keep pushing, no matter which obstacle we meet. So yeah.
Yeah, it's living, learning, adjusting, a lot of adjusting.
Yeah, a lot of adjusting. I think I've written about it several times on the VA blog. Bruce Lee, he's one of my role models. And I like his motto where he says, be water, because it's exactly what it's all about. Be water. You find the way to where you want to go. If you just work towards it, you will always find a way.
Yeah.
Have you been thinking about doing any webinars, digital courses about affiliate marketing or the book business or anything?
I thought about trying to do some kind of a course.
Yeah.
In Wealthy Affiliate, I did that introduction to ebooks, and then I had 30-day challenge to create an ebook. Perhaps something more along those. Then it gets labor intensive to do that.
Yeah.
And especially if you really want to put in quality, if you really want to have that quality and that value there, and then I had created a membership, a paid and free membership site which I haven't done anything with that now, and well, since I got going with YouTube here. But I'm not sure what if I'm gonna do anything more with that or not.
You did a 3-day challenge with Jonathan, didn't you? Jonathan Montoya.
The which challenge?
The 3-day challenge with Jonathan Montoya.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Have you had a look at the his funnel with ClickFunnels training?
I haven't looked at anything else that he's offered. I became an affiliate of his,
Yeah.
so I've got him in my YouTube description. I just really kind of paused on any more large or any kind of a spending substantial amounts of money.
But because he gave a funnel which is set, all the way from the lead magnet to the bridge page to the whole thing, and the lead magnet is a full ClickFunnels training, how to use ClickFunnels. It's super great. This and he's giving it away as a white label funnel. You can use it to whatever you want, just tailor it. So I think it is on one of his YouTube playlists. So I think it's possible to put it into GrooveFunnels as well. So if I remember correctly. I was just curious because he has made a membership site with that funnel. So you register, and then you get the email to those who register, and they can go through the webinar if they want to, and then maybe sign up for ClickFunnels, or maybe Legendary Marketer. You can put the link to Legendary Marketer within the funnel as well. So I was just thinking about it when you said the digital course webinar membership site.
Yeah, it's really unlimited possibilities. I think it's just finding whatever we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if I started something and I decide it's not for me. At least you don't know until you try.
No, that's right.
And I realized even like my original site, my original 2 websites with Wealthy Affiliate that I deleted, that maybe they only needed another 3 months. Maybe they only needed another 6 months, to really the money start coming in. But it's just one of those things you have to make. You have to make a decision, and so the decision's made, and you have to live with it. And of course, you never can see what could have been because it's gone. That possibility isn't there, and it could have been where it would have been nothing but something eating your time and resources and that. But I really lost my passion for that, and as long as we're financially, and actually I want to be more than financially good, of course, because this pandemic has showed us how uncertain the global economy is, and as an entrepreneur online, we depend on the global economy. And this can happen again. I mean, they've already had different variations of COVID, and that's having an effect on how some of these countries are responding, and so I just want to keep diversifying, but the simpler the system can be, I think the better. And if one particular thing takes a lot of work, then great, then put all your time in that, and you've got everything else on autopilot. And that, so yeah, I'm very curious what the end of the year is going to be, because I started out, going hard at it, and I'll continue working, but I think right now, I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. I think by getting my wife set up with her account, get her going, that's going to help. She can duplicate a lot of what I've already done. Say you got these systems and you just take it, or you duplicate their funnel or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
pretty much going to get the same results. So I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. I think I'm going to find out I've got more time on my hands, especially with my daughter. I didn't have this in my first marriage because I was out on that. Well, it was my own business, but I had to be out working all the time. I didn't get to see my little ones in their early years, you know, growing up and taking their first steps and all of that. I missed it.
Yeah.
And now I get all of it. I
Yeah.
see it every day. And I take time, and she'll come in here and she'll get throwing balls at me, and we'll throw balls back and forth and do all kinds of things. And
That's nice.
it's amazing to watch her and to see how intelligent they really, really are.
Yeah.
And I hope to be around long enough to maximize what she's going to get from life, what she's going to learn. We're planning on homeschooling at least all the way through grade. Actually, well, I'd go all the way through high school if we could. But we're going to homeschool, and that'll be interesting. And we homeschooled my other family, my 3 daughters in America, up until well, the one was up until 8th. It was like 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, something like that. So I have experience with that as well. And then when they did have to go to school, they all did well. 2 of them were honor students, and the third one did okay. So and then the homeschooling with them, that actually gave me time with them in those years, because they didn't have to be schooling every day. I usually took one of the girls with me working every day. I'd pick, well, okay, you're going today, come with me. And then you got time to talk with them and spend with them. And where do you want to go eat lunch? Okay, let's go do that. And it was priceless, absolutely priceless.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So that's really important now here too, is to spend as much time as I can with her and help teach her, because education's not so good here. I don't think it's good in America anymore, but it's not so good here. So the more we can give her the right tools in her mind to move forward and keep learning and keep growing, that'll be very powerful for her.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and of course, then all these businesses, she could do that, or she could do some variation of it. And then they might not do nothing.
Yeah, sure.
None of my daughters in America carried on anything that I was doing, including my books. And my youngest daughter, when she was 12 years old, she published her first book. It was a reprint, but it was taking a lot of quotes from this famous Catholic Christian author and making like a thought for the day, for the day, for each day of the year from this person. And it still sells occasionally and that, but it took her like one day to do it, and boom, we got a book. So, but they just never had the passion to be doing something like that. She's more into art. She got into graphic designs, does a lot of artwork. So that's where her passion turned out to be. So you just never know.
No, we don't. I'm trying to, I have tried to involve our kids a little bit all the way, trying to trigger a bit of interest, telling them what I've been doing. When I told them that I suddenly had gotten $60 from somebody has bought a lot of dog stuff, dog accessories. He said, "What? Yeah, I got $60. I can do with it what I want." And I didn't do anything else. Then I wrote this, and I put in some links. That is the only thing I did. What? So, yeah, I'm trying to. I've tried to show them some other things as well that they can do to make money online very easily, but they need time to digest it as well. They don't think of computers and the internet in that context.
Right. Right.
We got two boys. One is 22. He's becoming 22 this summer, and the other one is 20. And the only thing they think about is they're playing with their PlayStation. That is what computers are for. They're watching Netflix. So, yeah. Well, the eldest one, he's studying to become he wants to be an architect. The youngest one, he's studying to become a carpenter. So they're going a completely different direction than me, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they have to decide for themselves.
Right. Exactly. That sometimes parents push their children. People want us to do what they want us to do rather than what does that person want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very it's okay to teach them. Like my father was one of the best flooring installers, carpeting, ceramic tile, linoleum, vinyl. He was one of the best. And he always took me as a child to go work with him. And I really didn't like it. I didn't, you're a kid, you want to play, you want to do this, anything but work. Then he'd give me, some money for, for going and stuff. So never truly enjoyed it, but it was, it was sometimes some good time with my dad. And, fast forward, I went and had 8 years in the Marine Corps and came out of the military, and then, trying to find a job, something. And I knew I could do flooring, but tools are very, very expensive, and I was not going to ask him to use his tools. It just wasn't good. That wasn't going to happen. And then ended up, there was a job come up that they contacted him. They were in a bind and they just needed somebody to come and just kind of get it started, get the carpet padding down. So the carpet layer they hired could come in and he could speed it up. It was a 6-unit apartment building or something, and they were behind schedule. Well, Dad asked if it was okay, if I contact him, and then he called me, and then he said he would let me use his tools. And so we worked out a price and went and got working on the job, and then they were going to actually take the money out of the carpet layers pay, so he quit. So now I'm doing the whole thing. I'm doing everything, all the flooring, everything now. And so then we negotiated a price with how to finish that up. Got it all done, and I got that check in the mail, and I'm like, oh my God, wow. And now I had Dad's tools already, and so then it was easier to talk with him since I've already kind of using his tools. And I slowly started taking on some part-time jobs to build up my confidence. And that next year I went full-time installing flooring. And I never could have done that if he never would have taught me as a child. So he gave me my livelihood, and eventually we had a store, and we had a booming business until 9/11, when they attacked the trade towers, and it killed my business. But yeah, we don't know where life's going to take us. And
no,
there was something I resisted, and yet, wow, what an opportunity, and good money, good income. I couldn't do that working for somebody else. And so, yeah, it's strange, very strange.
Yeah, it is. Me and my wife, it was meant to be, but I was a bachelor. I focused on my career as an officer. Not very family friendly occupation at all. And I got one day when I was on active duty, I got a phone call that asked me if I wanted to join in another department on the eastern part of Norway, where the logistics base were located, doing project management. And they told me if I wanted to come and do 2 to 3 years in that position, and that was something completely different from what I did. So I thought, okay, I will do 3 years, and then I will go to international operations, go to Afghanistan or Iraq or Sudan in Africa or Somalia for a year maybe, because we are required to do that in the Norwegian Armed Forces. So that was my plan. And then I started my job in the project division after 4 years. I had 1 year left before I was leaving for out again to go on active duty again, my squadron. A childhood friend of mine, he was married to a Turkish girl, and her name is Gulay, and Gulay had tried to get me to meet some friends of her during a period of time, and one was my wife. So marriage, my wife, she got sick of Gulay every time trying to connect me and her, and I was starting to get sick of it, and I said, okay, I can meet her just to say hello and hi, and that's it. We go our own ways after that. But to make a long story short, we met on the 7th of December in 2007, and the rest is history. So it's a kind of strange how life changes everything you do around. And I've discussed it with my wife, and she has said no. I don't want to go back out on active duty. It's not up for discussion. So that was okay with me.
Yeah.
So who knows where I would be if I would be doing affiliate marketing now if I hadn't met my wife. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Everything's. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. If it was actually being with someone here, that really got me more into the working mode. I was just so into being retired and just enjoying life and not being. And if you're single, you don't have to be responsible for only yourself. You got to take care of.
It's only yourself, yeah.
But you get somebody else, and that changes the whole game plan. Yeah, and so yeah, it's all good. So yeah, it's now we have a child, and that changes the game plan.
Yes, it does.
So
it does, certainly do.
So yeah, I don't know. Life is just really amazing how things proceed and how they develop, and even the worst of times become the best of times, and yeah, it's just been a great learning experience for me. We've actually gone over our time. I apologize for that. I know we said an hour, and we're an hour and a half already.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's nice talking.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, that's where I've and it's hard to believe now I've been here six and a half years. But that first year, it seemed like many years. That first year, so much drama, so many things happening, so many life lessons, and I've done a lot of traveling around the world, but it's different when you just visit a place. You come and you go, and then you actually live in a place. It's very different. You know,
Yes, it
I
is.
visited the Philippines many times. And then when you live here, then you get the reality of what it's really like, you know. And then you see the good, you see the bad,
Mm.
but that's fine. I still love it here. I still plan to stay here till the day I die. If we ever got really well off, then maybe we'd also get a place in the United States and split our time between there and here.
Mm. Mm.
You know, I'd love to live in Hawaii again. I've lived in Hawaii 4 years total in my life. It's beautiful. It's not as hot as here. It's perfect. It really, I consider Hawaii to be perfect. You know, it is hot here, but I love being out in the sun. And you know, I have to have air conditioning in the house, but outside I'm fine with the sun and the heat and that. So you know, I love being right next to the ocean. Something I didn't have in the United States when you're in the middle of the continent.
Yeah, I know.
You're far away from the ocean, and but that was something the military showed me, you know, because you're often near the coast of wherever you're at, and it's just I guess my only complaint was we just don't have enough. We don't have enough years. You know, if I live 10,000 years, I cannot do everything I want to do. It's just not
Same. Yeah,
possible.
that's right. I'm thinking the same thing. There's so much, too little time, and so much to do. It is.
Yeah, I don't know if a million years would be adequate because every little place has its own little dimension and you know the people and the contact and the Philippines, you know, it's thousands of different, I think over 1,000 different dialects. So you got different cultures and different traditions and different
Yep.
rituals and festivals and all this. And then every island is 7,107 islands. You know, you could you could spend a lifetime just trying to explore here.
Yeah.
And you know, and I lived in Spain for 3.5 years and northern Japan for 6 months, and yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just awesome.
Yeah. I've been living in. I was living in. At, I was stationed at Fort Rucker when I learned to fly helicopters in Alabama for 1 year, and I have relatives. I think I've said it. Relatives in North Dakota, in Huntsville, in Alabama, in Arizona. So I've been visiting all those places as well, and also, we have our training in England. We have been traveling all the way around Turkey, me and my wife. And Turkey is a big country, and there's so many cultures within that country. You wouldn't believe it. So it's and as you said, the Philippines, it's every small village, small town got its own way of doing things, own
Yeah.
way of living, their own traditions. So it's exciting. I love Turkey. I wouldn't mind moving there, and living there for half the year, and then come back here to Norway when during summertime when it's too hot to be in Turkey, and then stay here in Norway. That would be nice. So no, traveling around the world is one of the other things I'm going to do when I retire. That's one of the goals. See as much of the world as possible.
And there, that ties right back into business because having a passive income allows you to do that. You know,
Yeah.
I always thought about if I were single, you know, Philippines could be my home base, but I could move to Thailand for a year or 2 years, or Vietnam, or you know, the cost of living is really low, so I don't have to be making as much money as if I was living in the United States. And there's many such places, and they're all different, and they all got wonderful things to offer people. And you know, as long as it's you know, fairly stable, I'm I'm okay with things. Although when I was younger, I didn't mind instability. But actually, I visited the Philippines in 1986, and that was, they were having in the midst of the people power revolution and everybody wearing yellow. And I went to ETSA, which was a major place where people would protest. And there I am in a sea of yellow people, all yellow shirts and yellow. And it was amazing. You were being part of history. And there's the funny side of politics to me, because Marcos was a dictator. And here I am, I'm allowed to go to these protests, no problem. Now they have democracy now, supposedly. And if I would go to a protest now, I would be deported.
Yeah.
They have no tolerance for foreigners sticking their nose into anything. But Marcos, dictatorship, no problem.
It's strange.
It's a crazy world.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, it's yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's seeing other cultures, having that experience is a big bonus, a big asset in affiliate marketing, because it's easier to understand the market if you're focusing on the different demographics in different countries, to understand, a little bit better than how that culture, or what you can promote or what you can sell in that culture, understand which what am I going to call it, what triggers the interest in other cultures than your own, actually. So,
yeah, people have very different ways of thinking, other places. Yeah, it's and then there again, that's another. And then even if you, besides passive income, even just being able to speak English, you could go to a country and be tutoring people in English, and sometimes making really good money. I did that when I first came here. That was one of the things I got doing to make extra money. I tutored people in Japan on Skype. I'd be teaching them English, and all I'm doing is talking English and getting paid for it.
oh, that's nice.
And yeah, it was fun. And we had a general outline of what we're going to talk about, or discuss. And then I could always throw in a little Japanese, which I usually waited to the very end of the call, and that, because I really I loved it when I was in Japan. It was an amazing, again, another amazing experience. And yeah, you just can't get enough. So, and then with my daughter now, it's like you're able to go back to your childhood almost, because now I can, that's it, simple things, throwing the ball and playing and laughing and all these games, and she'll cover herself up and where are you? And then, but able to explore the world and teach her, I love science, I love history. That's all available, butterflies, birds, plants, flowers.
Yeah, do it from the beginning, earliest stage possible.
And that's going to help her to maybe find what her interest is by get some experience. And that's why I loved homeschooling. My ex-wife took care of the book work. I took care of everything that was outside of the books. In the summertime, June, July, and August, all my daughters and I were 8 o'clock at night till whenever they got tired, we're laying on the roof. There's Mars. That's Jupiter over here. Oh, did you see that meteor flying across the sky? And occasionally we would get the northern lights, which you get all the time. But once in a while we'd get them and be like, oh my God, look at that. the sky is moving, and oh, it's just amazing to see. And of course we talk about, okay, what name the planets, there you got the universe as your classroom, instead of here's a book, here's a picture of this, we go to the road cuts and look at the fossils and the rocks and talk about the age of the age of the earth and all this and that. And it's just better than watching a movie. I mean, there you're just really getting immersed in everything. So I'm really looking forward to that with her and what we're going to see and experience, and who knows where that'll take her in life.
Yeah.
So but it makes me young.
Yeah, I have the same opportunity with my sister. She got 4 kids, and 2 of them has their own kids now. So we have 3 little ones in our big family, and I have the chance to go back into my childhood, playing with them, taking them out, and I'm looking forward to teaching them about the sky and the stars and the universe, because that's one of my big hobbies, astronomy. It's always been a part of me. So
there we go. We have a lot in common, right?
Yeah, I have understood that. we are alike in several ways. So
when we get our next place, it's going to have more land. Right now, we got hardly anything around this house. Very squeezed in among other houses. But hopefully on the beach, some nice property around it so we can have a garden and stuff. But I want to build a little deck, buy a nice telescope, and
there we go.
Because I had one back in the United States where, and now they're electronic. You just tell it what you want to look at, and it goes and it'll find it right in the sky. You can't, it's in there. Yeah.
I got one. I haven't got it here. It's on our mountain cabin. Mead ETX 90. So it's nice. Just turn it on. I want to go there. And okay.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's amazing. And then you go from the outer world to the inner world and get the old microscope, and it's like, oh my God, look at the detail on this. It's just science. I really love science. I really well, I don't have any regrets about that, but I was a geology major, but I only was in college for 1 year, and then I really couldn't decide what to do. It was like everything to do with geology that had any kind of money was your oil exploration, water, looking for water. But I want to look for dinosaur bones and stuff like that, and that didn't pay very well. You're going to work for some museum, not. But I should have ignored that. That was I should have ignored the money part, and just went and did it for a while. You can always do whatever later, but that's where we get sometimes. You can get too focused on money, and it's really doing what you love to do, and you really can take a passion and turn it into money. At some point. I know in the States there's some places where they bought property and now they let people come on and they can dig for fossils, so they turned it into a business. So anything is possible.
I did introductory course on one of the Norwegian universities in astronomy 1.5 years ago. Introduction course to it's astronomy, but it's an introductory course to astrophysics. So I was thinking, why now when I get retired, why not study astrophysics while I'm doing affiliate marketing and training martial arts? This would have been perfect.
It's possible.
Yeah, I said it possible. Absolutely.
There's probably telescopes and things. You could probably get affiliate commissions and not a lot of competition, maybe some pretty good commissions, and not with Amazon, but whoever.
Yeah, there's one lady at Wealthy Affiliate who has done great within astronomy niche. I think she's living in Greece. I do not remember her name, but they have been driving traffic to Facebook and Facebook groups, which is working very well for them. So she had some tips and ideas on how to use Facebook, which she shared with me last year. It's possible, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I need that team.
What's that movie called with Michael Keaton? Duplicity, is that? Where he has 9 different, 7 or 9 different versions of himself. I think it's quite funny.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
This week I have plans to. I have to make some landing pages. I've been pushing that away. You know, I don't want to. It's not a difficult task, but I've been just putting it away. I need to do that. I checked my views on and impressions on TikTok this afternoon. I passed 8,500 views on my videos, not just from 2 weeks. But it's a bit slow on the follower side, but it's going up. So I just need to keep pushing content out on the platform. So I will do that consistently. If I have a break, 5 to 10 minutes at work, I make a video. So I'm trying to push out between 2 and 5 videos each day.
Good.
That is my goal. And I have seen, after watching what you have done, after watching Jonathan Montoya, Spencer Meacham, and Rupi from the affiliate, yeah, how they do YouTube, and this kid, this 9-year-old kid, Matt Parr, which has done very well on YouTube as well. Just watching them and see what they do. I need to get on YouTube. I need to launch my channel and start posting videos on YouTube, definitely. So I have come to the conclusion that I will keep the activity going on Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter, but I will not focus on them. I will focus on the Facebook groups, YouTube, podcast, and TikTok, because it's easy to repurpose content on those platforms.
Right.
As we discussed earlier. So and I think YouTube is very tangible for me. I get the concept, and it's not that difficult to do. I think I have not set up my channel yet. I have it launched, but I haven't set up my profile or anything. But I think I will manage to launch the first video by the end of this week.
Well, I'll be there. I'll check it out.
Yeah. So it will be the topic will be introduction to affiliate marketing, how to do stuff. Just reflect what I'm doing on my journey. That is at least the first channel will be on that topic, and we'll see. I will launch a couple of other channels, but I haven't decided on what to put on those channels yet.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think maybe one of them will be mindset. Something within the mindset niche. I will see.
There's a lot you can do with mindset. You know, it's just it's really an interesting topic, and it's so important because everything in life is mindset.
Yeah.
Everything in life is a story.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
yeah.
7 billion different stories going on in the world right now. Everybody's got a
Yeah.
different story about this, and you got many different stories about the exact same thing. You know, and who knows? Maybe nobody's even touching on reality, but everybody's got their opinion, their view, their this or that, and you really gotta. I don't know. I just try to. And stories are stories. I look for empowering stories. I don't even care for myself. I don't even care if the story is true. If it's an empowering story and it helps me in some way, then I will accept it and use it to my
Yeah.
advantage. You
Yeah.
know, because to me, there's some things in life we're just never going to know, or may never know until after death. Well, you know, if there is anything after death, there's one. There's a good one. You know,
Yeah.
is there something after death, a life or not? And so I'm a spiritual person. I don't have any particular religion. I believe there's something,
Yeah.
and I believe we continue. And that I could be wrong, but I'm going to live with that story because it's better than the story of there's nothing. Then I would get a bit depressed because it's like, well, then what am I wasting my time for?
Yeah.
If it's all just a little show and there's nothing. But so that's an empowering story that helps me stay motivated, keep moving forward, keep seeing and doing everything I can. And it may not be true, who knows, you know. So, but there's so many disempowering stories out there that, you know, people just fix on and they're not good enough, they can't do it, they've got limitations, and those are all bogus stories.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you. I have the same belief as you. I have a childhood belief, you know, Christian belief, but I realized quite early that okay, that is a story.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lifestyle, a way of life, more than some over empowering
Mm-hmm.
infinite intelligence. But I believe in that there is something, but we don't know at all. And uh, when I read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, my belief got organized when he was started talking about an infinite intelligence, something um, the universe, or what you call it, a common energy type of thing which you can tap into.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I believe in, and use that to your own benefit and the benefit of others. Is yeah, I like that way of thinking.
Yeah.
Think in a constructive and a positive way that okay, this happened, but you cannot do anything about it. It's done.
Right.
In a way, surrender to it and then move on. Take the lesson, use the energy from that lesson in some way, but in a positive way, and get something out of it that you can use for a positive, yeah, to get something positive out of them. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
and yeah, and I feel like we were talking about astronomy some minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel when I'm out watching the skies, I feel that I'm touching into that
Mm.
in infinite intelligence or infinite order, or you know what you call it, that energy, tapping into it, feeling it when you're out watching the skies. So yeah, it's but what you say there are so many stories in the world. So yeah, trying to tap into the stories, provide for the stories. Are they true, or if they're not true? Okay, in a way that doesn't matter, but try to use them to something positive.
Mhm. I agree.
Starting with the meditation part here, just after Christmas has it has been quite amazing, and the energy I get out of it, it's almost you can feel it flowing through you, and when you finished the session, taking that energy and just go out and take on the world.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed that this attitude, I have had a bit of change of attitude. I remember for the 5-day, I don't know what he called it, the 5 days with Bob Proctor at the beginning of the year. But one of the days he said, go out and find a person and make that person's day the best. Also, make that person feel like the center of the world. You know, and I started doing that at work with everyone at work, and my God, the response I got was quite amazing. Not any try to be genuine, but positive, and just get that positive energy flowing at work among the colleagues at work as well, and it works. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, I love walking and talking, and I'm a jokester while I do it. Especially the Filipinos, they know English, but they're not fluent, so I can throw them for a loop, and they'll ask me like, "Where am I from?" Because they want to know what country you're from. But I was like, "My mama," and they're like, did I ask him wrong, or they're confused at first. Like, no, my mama, you from your mama, your papa, and but a smile, even a smile, if you can't, if some people are so shocked, you can smile. I've always believed a smile could save somebody's life.
Yeah.
Simple as a smile. If somebody's depressed and suicidal, and you smile at them, one, they're like, wow, somebody sees me, somebody recognizes me here, and they're smiling at me. And it can take them out of that, potentially take them out of that downward spiral that they might be. That's always just been something I've always believed. I almost committed suicide once, so I just whatever you can do to lift people up, so at least smile with people and then talk, and always greeting people, and the main language here is Tagalog, but I live in the Visayas area. So Visaya is the language here. And when I came to the Philippines, I'm speaking Tagalog. And then I learned about the dialect here. And as soon as I started speaking the dialect, the people are almost shocked when you say good morning in their language. They start laughing, it's like, well, this is crazy. But it's great. And if I ever catch myself in where I think there could be potential danger, especially like you get people drinking, and here they like to share, so sometimes they'll want me to offer me to drink, and I don't drink at all anymore. Did that in the service, that was enough. And but I find a humorous way to talk that I can't do that, no thanks, I'm sorry. But so they don't, because the pride here is strange, where they can take offense really easy. So I make it into something funny, and usually I'll talk about, if I get drinking, I won't be able to find my way home, and then I'll stagger out into the street like, you know, like I'm drunk or something, you know, and then everybody laughs, and then I'm able to gracefully depart. Yeah, but humor, yeah, humor helps a lot. Just anywhere in the world, you know, that's it. The traveling, you see that, you experience that, you run into difficult situations at times where you've got to, you can feel the danger. You know, you're not in a good spot, and you got to find a way to get yourself out of that. Hopefully without violence. And I've never really been in any kind of a fight. I've always, you know, I've been hit, but I'd rather let them hit me a few times, and sometimes like this guy ain't fighting back, and it kind of like defuses them. So, well, that works. That's good. If I hit back, then we are just going to get throwing punches back and forth.
Yeah.
And I just never, not even when I'm in the air, I'm a Marine, and I've avoided that as much as possible. But at the same time, when I was younger, I put myself into some very dangerous situations. Sometimes it was just being naive, young and naive. And then you learn out later that, oh, you were in a lot more danger than you even imagined. And so I just, you know, got lucky or whatever. But I love experiencing. When I'm single, I have to separate, because if now I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to take the risk that I would take if I was single. If I'm single, I just don't care. I want to experience something, I'm going to experience it. But, you know, married, I've got responsibility and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But the things I've learned to taking those risks and placing myself in not the best environment, you know, no safety net. And I even did it when I was in the Marines, and I had permission even. But they told me if I ever got in trouble, you know, they're going to hang me out to dry. So, you know, but I spent 2 years in Hawaii. 2 years I spent on my off time. I'd go down to Chinatown. It's the worst place you could be back then. It's improved since then, but you had your drug addicts, you had your prostitutes, you got your bars. It's just not a nice place to be for a nice person. But I went down there on my off time, and they had a bakery that was open to 1 a.m. and I'd buy boxes of donuts, and then I'd walk around and find a place to stand. And when the prostitutes would come by, I'd offer them a donut, you know, free. You know, here, free. Just have a conversation. And it took a few months to gain their trust, because nobody does nothing for free in Chinatown. So they're like, what's the catch? What's the gimmick? And but then you develop that relationship, and then they realize, hey, this is just a friendly guy. Maybe he's crazy, but but he's okay. And then I'm able to find, you know, dig deeper into how did they get where they are, and you know, what motivated? Did they get forced into it? Some thought it was a great way to make money fast. There, get rich quick. If we just do this for a couple of years, we're going to have a lot of money. But they don't realize what's going to do to their mind. Then they get using drugs to feel better, and now they're addicted, and all the money goes to the drugs, and they've made nothing. You know, and now they hate themselves and all this other crazy stuff. So what a world to
Yeah.
experience and see. And yeah, that was a priceless education for me. And I went to Japan for 6 months. I came back. I went down there and I found out this one girl. She was 18, and she was a prostitute. Why, I really don't know why she got involved with that, but she was beaten, raped, and drugged, overdosed, died. Whew, I still get emotional talking about it. While I was gone, you know, I found out from one of her friends, and you know what? That's my only regret in life that I have, is that one girl. It's like, what could I maybe have done differently. Maybe I could have, tried anything, because it's so senseless, to die like that. For anybody who's young to die, period.
Yeah.
And because they're just people. I know some people make them up, oh, they're terrible, they're evil people. No, they're just people. We're all just people. Life, circumstances, stories takes us where it takes us. And sometimes the people might be forced and it might be very bad and they don't know how to get out of it. But that's a story too. And so I quit. I couldn't, and it's fortunate it was near my end of the time I was going to be in Hawaii. I couldn't do it anymore because all I'm thinking about is her when I'm down there, and it was just overwhelming. So that's it. Even now, it emotionally impacts me.
Of course.
But I'm more compassionate. I was bullied when I was young, and to me, that they gave me the gift of compassion. I'm never going to do that to somebody else because I know what it did to me and how it traumatized me and how it affected my no self-esteem, and you just feel like you're worthless. And that's what eventually almost led to my suicide. And, but yeah, it's just those kinds of experiences. Yeah, I would have rather been doing what I did there than worried about having a business or something, because what I gained from that and being able to help people and touch people's lives is, you can't put a price on that. You really can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah, and though I've never really, became a paid coach, so to speak, I certainly have been able to help a lot of people at times, and so I know I have the talent and the skills and the tools, but I guess there's still that thing in my head about, charge, and then you got to market yourself and all that. And I don't know. It's just easier to come across somebody who may need help, and then you still got to wait for them to ask, or you've got to at least kind of make an offer. You can't just find somebody, oh, I'm going to go help that person, because you're just yeah, it don't work. And I did that with somebody on Facebook recently. I just really felt bad for the guy, and found him on Facebook and became his friend, and we chatted since then. I just had to kind of not even really be on that topic and just talk and become more friends. And maybe a couple of years from now, maybe he'll be like, hey, you offered me this or something. Could we talk about it now? I'm open to listening to that, because you just can't force it. And I should have known that.
That's right.
And but because I tried that with my dad. My dad was an alcoholic. That was one reason we kind of would conflict at times and bump heads and stuff. And when I got out of the Marines, I thought, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get Dad to quit drinking. I know I can do that. I'm a tough guy now. and I understood, I still believe I understand today why he was drinking. So with that, I thought, oh, I can go and deal with it. But I didn't have the tools. Now I have the tools. Of course, he's dead, but I have the tools today that I didn't have way back then. And maybe it wouldn't matter, but I wish I would have had the tools, at the time. But so, yeah, 6 months of trying to get him to quit, 6 months with his veiled death threats that he's gonna, take care of me. And anyway, so it was, yeah, that's where life. Oh, where's it gonna go?
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, but I certainly sympathize with my dad and have a lot of compassion for him, and I don't think I could have, I said he was an alcoholic, and he did everything 100%, 110%, because he was dealing with nightmares in his head, and that's the only way he could try to deal with it, was to put himself, push everything he did, and that's why he would push us hard, because it's just go. And then same with the drinking, gotta drink it. And but I really, I feel sorry for him that somebody has to, and of course he's not the only one, and it happened during World War II. It's just the trauma of war,
Mm.
And many other people in the world are affected with that, unfortunately. And but there's some real tools out there now to address it. And there again, it's something where they're not the establishment. Oh, they just like to, you know, we've got this long-term program we can do and spend, 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 spend. And you got this guy over here. He's like 1 hour. He can take you right out of it. You know, just scramble your memories and all that, and you're not triggered anymore. Very powerful stuff. And anyway, we really got sidetracked with that.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, but you know, that's just yeah,
yeah. It's like life.
yeah, that's the thing. So
Hmm.
so yeah, that's that 2 years. That's just so powerful for me of that, and even sponsoring the children in the Philippines. All I'm doing is giving a little money, but they're able to keep going to school instead of quitting school. And then 2 girls I actually put through college. Couldn't afford to put myself through college, but I put 2 of them through college. Actually have a chance to break that cycle of poverty.
It's good.
And yeah, and then what did it do? Well, then I ended up marrying somebody in the Philippines because of that. She was a bookkeeper in the church that took care of the sponsored children. And then we ended up getting divorced 24 years later. And where do I come back here? Well, you know, so it's just one thing leads, you know, it leads you down that path. Whereas if I never would have took that little bit of money that was nothing to me and sponsored that one child and then went to the Philippines to see where's my money going, you know, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be, who knows where I would be.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'm back in Japan, or maybe I'm in Spain, or, you know, there's just, I've always kind of gone more a people person, or, you know, exploring those things about people, learning more about people and experiencing things firsthand.
Mm.
Not to extreme. I've never done drugs, you know, I've never gone to that extreme.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah. I have always been an introvert, a very closed, guarded person. The Air Force has changed some of that because they force you out when you get to be the captain on an aircraft. You have to go. Here I am.
right.
You have to open up and do your stuff. But what really has taken me out of introversy to be able to handle it in quite a good way has been affiliate marketing, starting to do this stuff. Because this has led me to especially the One Funnel Away challenge, and also one of the events with Gracioso and Tony Robbins, where they challenged you to go live on video, telling your story. And what was really mind-blowing was the warm-up week to the One Funnel Away challenge. There's one webinar which hit me deep down inside, and that was, you know who Lady Boss is? It's a lady that has done very well within the fitness niche. She is having a company that takes women on a training program and diet program, which really works to get their normal weight back, and such very successful. But she had a mind exercise that made you go inside you, identify the one thing that was holding you back from going in full force. And the way she did it was like, when you did that, it was like she said, reach deep inside. There was more to it, and grab it. The one thing that holds you behind, because you know what it is. Then write it down on a paper, and take that paper and just throw it away.
Mm.
And it was that was a real pivoting point, major change. It was like a floodgate opening, and after that experience, it has only gotten better, better and better.
Great.
It was a joy to do the first podcast. I know there's only a couple of persons who heard my first podcast, but I've done it. And I'm talking a lot about my history in that podcast. So it was very to hit the publish button on the podcast and then see, okay, it's been published on iTunes podcast, it's been published on that podcast channel and that podcast channel and that podcast channel. It was, yeah, it was, I was sitting after I clicked on the publish button and thinking to myself, what have I done? But it was good. It was releasing. It was it was a big milestone, a big challenge, a big obstacle that together with that webinar with this lady, and then going to doing that podcast inspired by Russell Brunson himself. He said, just go do it. Just go do it. Just say something. Tell your story, whatever. Just go doing it. It was amazing. And I believe to myself that that podcasting will be a channel that I can do well. I can sit and talk, but I need to stick to my script, because if I don't stick to my script, I will go that way. But I like to talk. When I start to talk, I'm talking. I talk about everything, more and more, more and more, more and more, more and more. So I think I would like that. And also YouTube, I think it will be a good channel and also a good way to get to grips with my personality, my introversion, and use it some constructive, some positive benefit to not just myself but to others who watches this as well. So yeah, we got some great tools to promote ourselves and our business.
Yeah.
To go. I'm thinking about it like this. I have something that I can share with other people. I can tell them my story, and I can share with them what I do and where I have challenges and how I address those challenges and work my way through them or around them. And maybe there's maybe just one person, if it's just one person who can take that method that I'm using for myself, I have found out I can do it like this, and one person can take that method and make good use of it, then my mission is accomplished. So that's one of my core pillars, if you can put it that way, for doing what I do now. At first, I wanted to make money. And then I realized that I have more to give. I want to do more with this, because thinking about money, that isn't me. It has never been me. Of course, I want to be financial free, reach financial freedom as everybody does. But when I reach that point as well, then I can take that and help other people as well to achieve the same thing if they want to. Financial freedom, getting to grips with themselves, and handling their introversy, or if you have other inclinations with your personalities. I believe this. That is one of my core pillars. I want to help people with what I do, and I want to share what I do so others can benefit from it. That's nothing more difficult, or no more secrets to it than that. So yeah. I have been training or instructed in my martial arts club for several years, 5 or 6 years now, after having a break or a pause from the club about 15 to 20 years because of my work. But I've been instructing in that club, been an instructor in that club since I was about 15 years old. And what I see training people, and when I see that I manage to reach them, to touch them, and to show them that I have understood, or that I see what their pain points, where they are struggling. And I see that I am able to address that, and I see that they are succeeding in what I try to convey to them, and that I see that they take what I I managed to convey to them my instructions on how to do the techniques and the philosophy behind the techniques, and also getting them to understand that it's not the physical, how you do it with your arms and legs and all that stuff, that is the main point. It's what is in here and in here. If you can tap into this, then you'll be successful as a martial artist or doing martial arts, and you will grow as a person. It's and when you see that they get it, so they get the first belt grade, they get the second belt grade, and then you start to see the personality starts growing. The understanding of I'm doing karate, and I see they start to understand the concept behind this. It's so rewarding. It's get back home in the evening. I'm so excited. I cannot go to sleep. It's great. So now you see, I got another topic that I can speak. I can talk about this 24 hours a day. This thing. Martial arts have been my friend and companion since I was 13 years old. And it has done great things for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Marine Corps, I was an introvert, but I think I was maybe not a natural introvert, because it's just being bullied that, it caused me to withdraw within myself. But the Marine Corps was the thing that really helped me to open up. You go through boot camp, if you survive boot camp, you're indestructible.
Yeah, I recognize it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared to death. That very first night of boot camp, I was literally scared to death. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And 3 months later, you come out of boot camp and you just got so much confidence and so much pride in yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, it's just a total transformation. And then there's been a lot of transformations through life, and facing our fears is a biggie. Sometimes you can just make the fear disappear. But like walking on fire with Tony Robbins, I mean, you can walk on fire, you can do anything. I mean, it really creates that mindset. And my daughter and I, we did that in 2011, and it was just like scared to death again. And then you do it, and you're like, oh, can I do it again? And it's like, come on. Yeah. And I've been going up in heights with extreme parasailing, and I've always been afraid of heights. it's like, if I can do it, then, and I feel safe with how it's structured, you know, everybody else is doing it safe, it's just my fear, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push that envelope, and it does. It just opens you up,
Yes,
and
it
there's so
does.
much more you can, so much more that you can do, and yeah, I appreciate our conversation because it's given me a lot to think about,
Yeah,
you
that's,
know,
that's nice.
and who knows what direction it might take me on. But
Yeah.
that last book you gave me is really just like, yeah, there's a lot going on there. And that and then the other book that I can't remember what the name of that was, but where, you know, said life is perfect right now in this moment. Life is perfect. Doesn't mean we can't improve upon it, but it's perfect. So if it's perfect, there's no reason to complain. If there's something doesn't seem like it's going well for us, there's a lesson to be learned there. And, you know, sometimes my wife and I, we kind of like clash, and sometimes it's language, because she's not fluent in English, so it could be a misunderstanding, could be whatever. But so I'm always saying to myself when anything happens, it's like, life is perfect just as it is right now in this moment. So, okay, then there's no need for me to be upset. There's no need for me to say anything. It's perfect. You can't be perfect, you know, so, you know, so I do, and I do that when I go out. Last couple of days, I'm always saying that. And plus the fact that, you know, the other thing is I am, and I have everything that I will ever need right now in this moment. So, and of course, it doesn't mean you have the money, but you know how you can create the money, you can, how to get that value. And like I was telling her, you don't need money all the time. You can trade something in place of money. You can barter, you know, barter is as old as time itself,
Yeah.
you know, so, you know, and I always scratch my head here sometimes when, you know, people are, you know, they're poor, they're definitely poor, but it's like, there's a free grocery store within 1 kilometer of our house called the Ocean, and it's full of food. Go fishing, you know, free food, you know, so, you know, but there again, society gets this like, oh no, you need to go to a store, you need to buy your food and eat all this processed stuff. When you got free food out there and you can have your own garden, you got coconuts, bananas, papaya, you got everything here in the tropics just hanging on trees. And it's a shame when there is poverty and you see this, sometimes this food in somebody's yard that nobody gets access to, and it's allowed to drop and rot right on the ground. It's like, come on, pick it up and give it to somebody.
Come on. Yeah.
But there again, their mindset and learning, and anyway, oh, it's been an amazing journey up to this point, and I hope to have many more years to come, and yeah, I think this year is going to be really, really good financially, but I think I'm gonna, as a person, I'm just gonna grow tremendously as well. So, and it's going to be interesting.
I have the same impression regarding what I'm feeling. There was a change when the year turned into 2021, and I know that the year is going to be great. In total, it will be great. Financially, it will be okay, and I know. But on the personal side, it will be, and also building my business as well. I know what I have to do, and I'm doing it consistently, and I don't know now where I want to go. The book that I recommended to you has opened a new source. I got another source which I can tap into as well, because it has really opened my mind. My book, and giving me another source to work on as well. So it has been very positive every which way, and I have noticed that my family has. I think that my frequency or my behavior, how I look, how I do things, has changed, because it seems like it is. What do you call it in English? It mirrors back on them.
Hmm.
So that's very good. And I have a very good feeling for the year. I have. It
Yeah.
feels like I'm in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and I can actually, if I want to, I can retire in a little bit less than 2 years. I can retire. So, but I have to retire within, let's say, I'm in 5 years' time. I have to retire.
Mhm.
So that is what I'm aiming for. 5 years is my time frame, which I will do the groundwork for the rest of my life and where I want to go.
Good. Good. Yep.
So now I guess you just have to wait for my bestseller.
Yeah, it's just I need to get writing my life story. There's no doubt about that, because I've got so many books there with what I've experienced and the lessons that have been learned, and even the small little things. You know, it's just every little thing in life. It's just, you know, there's so many blessings, and it's just phenomenal, and yeah, like I say, and there's somebody out there that's in a similar situation that you have been in or I have been in, and they can identify with what we're saying, and we provide them that hope or that inspiration to keep going, you know, or to see it in a little different light, see it in a better light, and make all the difference in the world. And and I hope I can you know, do more of that. And yeah, you got YouTube and writing, and I'm you know, trying to figure some things locally that I can do to help educate people and help to lift them up. And that's why too, with helping my wife develop her business, she's the blueprint for everybody else. We're going to know exactly what we have to do, the process, the cost, because you know, I'm mostly going to probably be dealing with people who can't even afford the internet, do not have a laptop. So you're talking about somehow trying to get enough income that they could be able to, well, they can always go to an internet cafe to begin with. So they have at least they have a temporary solution, and then, you know, can build it up where they can actually afford now to have those things as a normal part of life as they continue to build their businesses. Because too, for a Filipino, if the average Filipino was making $500 a month, that's a lot of money to them.
Yeah.
You know, they could be working, they work at the local market. They're working there 12 hours a day, and they make $4 for the day. So it's $120 a month. It's not enough to live on, and that's why these families are really, they're and it's amazing that their attitude, they do have a good attitude, you know, they almost too good. It's almost like you get where you accept it, and then you become comfortable with what is unacceptable, and they need to, you know, lift their vision up and see that they can move beyond that and get beyond that. So that's the thing. So $500 a month would be, it'd be 4 times what they're getting there, and they wouldn't have to be working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, all month long. So anyway, that's one of my local goals is to do some, and once it gets set up, then it's all duplicatable. You know, so the hard work is done then, and then you just keep teaching it. And anyway, so that's hopefully by the end of the year we'll have our blueprint, we'll have a guideline where to go with that, and then maybe next year we'll move into that. I actually would like to start like an internet cafe, but not be an internet cafe. At first I was going to go half and half. Now I just want to have where we have a place. We've got the computers, we've got the internet. People come, we teach them, and they're doing work for us by whether I have them publish books or what. They're learning, but they're doing so that I'm going to get paid on the back end for what we're teaching them, and then they're also going to be able to create income for themselves, and then go on, live their lives well, and teach others. I mean, to me, that would just be like, you know, the ripple effect would just be amazing. And it's so doable, but it's just getting that groundwork started here. So that's one of my local goals, local, you know, and local businesses, you could do anything, you know. But anyway, there's just so much opportunity in the world. And my one business tip for people is if you're watching the news, it's negative, it's taking you down. You need to either do away with it completely. It doesn't do you, it doesn't serve you. It only, oh my, and I do watch little glimpses of the news because I always like to be knowing what's going on in the world. But at least in the United States, the last 4 or 5 years have been just really bad and only gotten worse here after the election. Turn it off. What do you need to be doing? Sit down and meditate. Yeah, that's great. Clear your mind. What do you want in life? And get writing it down, and what can you act on today? What can you act on tomorrow? And start taking those steps. Get moving forward. Yeah. And before you know it, you'll have it. You know, don't even put a when. Just, you know, when I published my first book in December 2000, I never imagined where I'd be today. You know, it was just a part-time little cool thing to do. And now it's the thing that supports me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's just don't go. And that's what I say, it'll be really interesting. Yeah, end of this year is going to be really interesting to see and to go back and show where I started and where I'm at and what's happening, and then what's the next year going to be. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yes, it is. It's just to take the step and do it.
Yeah.
So I got a feedback on my review, a comment on my review on Legendary Marketer, the 15-day business builder challenge. And what did she write? It was quite good actually, because I'll just look it up just a moment. Because she put the words, her comment was, I think was great. Just a minute. It's the last one. She said, yeah, she said that, thank you for providing a useful and informative review. Very good job. It's not the first time I read about Legendary Marketer, but every time my intuition stopped me from taking the plunge. The way you presented the review, the aspects within the platform are very similar to another platform that I was on for a while, and I decided to give it up so as not to waste my time. And then she says, I think that no matter how many reviews I read from the platform's affiliates, none will be more conclusive than the one I would personally do trying the platform, right? What do you think? It's very, very well written. So I think there it is. It's when you look at it, it's only $7. So why not take the plunge and see what it is? But then again, she might not have the opportunity to use those $7. I don't know.
Mhm.
It stuck with me a little bit. The thing there, the best review would be the one that I do myself when I have first taken the plunge and done the challenge.
Mhm.
So, and that is the core of affiliate marketing as well. You need to know the product you're promoting.
Right.
So,
That was the thing that helped discourage me from doing my website, with the reviews and such. I know some people, they do reviews and they've never actually had the product. They just read 20, 30 other reviews and kind of pick out of there. And I always like to be transparent. I always like to be honest, and I can't be honest if I've never used the product,
oh, that's
because
right.
there's plenty of fake reviews out there, and I don't want to grab something that was fake and then present that as, oh, that's reality when it's not. So yeah, so but anyway, but yeah, it's all part of the journey.
It is.
So
Okay. That was a long session.
yeah, 2 hours and 40 minutes so far. So yeah, well, I appreciate you taking the time, and I should be able to send you a copy of this recording as well. And I probably will post it on my YouTube. But before I do that, please send me whatever you would like to be included in the description for this video. If you got something you want to promote, you just want your social media, whatever you want to put on there, your social media link, and I will put them in there right away so people could contact you if they want to reach out to you, whatever, because I want this to be a win-win for everyone, the people I interviewed, the people who are listening, and that's the best way, I think, to do that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I will send you.
Yeah, and I know my YouTube channel is small right now, but it's gonna hopefully it's gonna keep growing, and you see that when people show their results over time.
Yeah,
What might be little now, you get another 1,000 subscribers, and all of a sudden you got people looking at these older videos, or they still showing up in search results.
yeah,
And boom.
that's, yeah. That's what this young guy said as well. This 9-year-old guy. I did this free webinar yesterday, and you said that I grew my channel. It took me a little bit more than 2 years to grow it, and he's gotten this silver and gold, silver recognition from YouTube and gold recognition from YouTube as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's done quite well. So, but he said it's taken me a little bit more than 2 years to get there.
Yeah, it's just keep moving forward.
Yeah. So I've almost done my banners ready for the channel. Nothing fancy, but I need to do it during my breaks at work. So I just have a little bit trouble getting the right color on the background. Now I'm trying to get my brand's color on the background, but I think I've done something wrong in Canva. But I'm not able to change the colors, and maybe have to redo it, or I'll just publish it, upload it as it is, and then change it afterwards.
Yeah, you can always change.
Yeah.
I've gone through my descriptions on YouTube, and I've changed them different times. I removed stuff I decided I didn't like, and but even my first YouTube videos are very raw, I didn't even shave for it. I got my beard and but I didn't I did it purposely to show people they
Yeah.
don't need to be perfect to get started. Just do it.
Have you there's a lady called Rachel Peterson. Do you know her? The Mrs. Peterson, I think she's called. It's quite interesting. She's quite famous on the social media channels about YouTube, TikTok, etc. But she is also doing the same thing. She starts recording just out of bed or something, and sometimes hair is all around like this, and she's there. She's herself, just doing her stuff.
Because that's what people are afraid of. They're looking. They think they got to be perfect, and
Yeah.
they don't. Just taking that action, it does something inside you that keeps you moving forward. If you don't take action, you just created a wall. You just started to build a wall, and you're never going to move beyond it. So
You disappeared from my screen here. I have YouTube here. You suddenly disappeared.
oh,
Where is it?
I'm over
No,
here.
it's yeah. No, I'm trying to find your channel here at YouTube. It's
Oh,
what?
so
Okay.
well, we'll have to do this again sometime, and I'll try to be a little more maybe organized. Or I did have a list of questions, which I don't even think we got to, but
Oh, okay.
but no, but it's not important either. It's just there again. It's my first one interviewing someone, so it's just get out there and do it. And again, I've learned a lot from both. I actually learned a lot from even my conversation, but I learned a lot from your conversation, and it's got me thinking about things,
Yeah.
and that's all part of it, all part of moving forward, and making those adjustments to get where you finally want to go. So
Yeah.
the thing is, we've never been where we're going to go, so it's really hard for us to say I want to be there, but I don't know exactly where there is because I've never been there, and so that's why it may not be the place you want to go. So then we got to come over this way, and
That's right.
and sometimes we may move past where we want to go, and then like, wait a minute, I really did like that. Let's get back there, and that's where I'm going to settle in, and that's where I feel closest to being home. So, and yeah, it's yeah. I think well, I even decided a few days ago to not focus so much on the affiliate market. I mean, I got my links in my description on YouTube, but that's it, more provide that educational content, the value content, not focus on the money, work towards getting up to the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours view time. Put my focus there more on the money, because I think we get distracted by focusing on the money so much.
Yes, I agree with you. It's a big distraction.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And you see it when people start on relative affiliate as well. A lot of people ask, okay, how much money do you make? When can I expect to see some money?
Yeah.
It's understandable that they ask, but then again,
yeah, that's a question we can't answer because we don't know. Everybody's different,
No, we can't. That's right.
I feel sometimes a little awkward on Wealthy Affiliate because I was already paying $74 a month to host my websites on Weebly. So $49, I'm already saving money. I'm already ahead of the game. My very first month, and then my very first month, I had my first referral. Now I'm making money. So, but that's not normal. But I do try to encourage people, even if they're selling products, try to get a couple people in as referrals. Now it's paid for. The pressure's off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people were, oh, I'm spending this money, well, just a couple of referrals and it's all free. Or there's so much. You get the community, you got the hosting, you got the keyword search tool. There's so much value from the regular premium membership. And
Yes.
yeah,
I went back to the premium membership.
Oh, you did try the premium plus?
Yeah, I had it until I needed to pay for it or go back to the premium. And the only difference is the premium plus classes, but the content in those classes I can get elsewhere for free. The same thing, and I don't see any difference in the performance of the website or anything by using the premium subscription.
The premium plus to me was for me, it was a negative experience. I didn't try it, but it's a negative experience for me. It's like, you're going to do these special classes and you want me to pay more just to get those special classes.
Yeah, it's basically that. It's the essence of it. Yeah.
I honestly, I feel a little insulted by that. But so it's like, no, I don't care if I got the money. That's not worth it, And now they, we log in and they flash, here we got these classes coming up, and well, that's great, but plus if somebody's really working the business, you don't have time to be watching all these classes. You should be working your business and building your website, and your first few months in Wealthy Affiliate, you might be doing a lot of watching and training, but that's not the kind of training unless I really have to look up something, I will go to Wealthy Affiliate first to see if somebody has provided training, and
I do the same thing.
And if it's the higher price stuff, well, then I just got to go elsewhere for it. So anyway, but that's their prerogative to provide that extra service. So, but yeah, it kind of put me off a little bit.
Yeah. It put me off when they announced it. I was thinking, are you serious? And then I was thinking about it. Okay, I can try it for free. Okay, I will try it for free a couple of months and then see what's happening. And then I was thinking to myself that, okay, there's two benefits from this. All that technical stuff, that won't matter. That doesn't matter to me. But got extra classes. I got everything gathered. I could go one place to get to the material. So that was one bonus. And then I saw that the commissions are a bit higher, as it is on Legendary Marketer as well when you go pro on the affiliate side. I thought, okay, if you are getting referrals, and that this is a no-brainer. But do I really have to? The concept of wealthy affiliate, it don't resonate with the core that Kyle and Carson are trying to convey, what the intent with the platform. So they say one thing, but then they are quite, cynical in launching another membership level when I don't think they really need to do it. So, but okay.
Yeah. Or they could have, or they could have packaged it differently.
Yeah, they could have.
Because it looks like an upgrade, but it's just anyway. So if people come watch this YouTube video, I think I'm not going to say too much more. Too much censorship anymore. I better be quiet. Oh, yeah, it's just, yeah, anyway. And that's another good thing for, that's a good point for people to understand. There probably is no platform out there that is perfect. I've never run into a perfect platform.
No, it's not.
Wealthy Affiliate, Legendary Marketer, any of them, or any of the gurus, none of them are perfect.
No, they're not.
They've got some great points. They're doing some good things, but there's some things they're not doing so good. So,
yeah, I'm writing a blog post on Wealthy Affiliate at the moment. I'm going to publish it on my website as well. And I'm quite pissed off and got enough of webinars being published by gurus promising you to show that and that and that. And then 20 minutes is, how to do stuff. And then you don't get the whole thing. And then you have 45 minutes of sales pitch.
yeah.
That is what I call disrespectful to the people who attend the webinar and take time to attend it. You see it everywhere, and it's more and more. It's done more and more like that, and I don't like it.
Yeah. When you're looking at this stuff a lot, it stands out. All the stuff they're doing, and especially there, they get flashing the money in the cars and the houses, and then you hear about the fake stuff, and it's well, I think your book pointed it out where people are getting more cynical. That's the thing is, you need to be more transparent, more honest, provide more value up front, because it's just like a big smoke screen. These other things they're putting up just to get your money, and and then there is the upsell, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't mind the upsell, but as you say, that it's the way it is packaged and how you do it that's very wrong. So
or when the upsell is necessary in order to tap into things. Legendary Marketer, you didn't need to do an upsell for anything. You could do the $7 business challenge. You can be an affiliate. You can become an affiliate. Now, some people have to wait months to become an affiliate, but I got approved right away. But maybe that's because they thought I was going to buy the blueprint.
Yeah, I was approved at once as well, but that was due to you did the 15-day business challenge, right?
Yeah.
I think if you do that, you are automatically qualified for it because you have done the training, which they require.
Yeah, and I guess I suppose it's for some people I've heard they had to wait months to get approved, but it could be they had no experience, maybe not focused. Well, then I could understand that. Whereas, I've been doing this. I've been doing online business for years and years and years. So, so it's just, So I think I'm gonna have to put it up when I go, I thought of something. I don't want to say it online because everybody's gonna hear me say it. So I'm So I'll make it more generic. Some affiliate programs, the best affiliate programs, in my opinion, are those that are absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything, but you can promote the product, you can promote the material, and you get paid on it. There are affiliate programs where they expect you to, well, sometimes it's a one-time buy-in, and sometimes it's a monthly, you keep paying for the opportunity to be an affiliate, and where they may offer some great things, those are starting to rub me the wrong way. That's all I will say without identifying anybody. You shouldn't have to be paying. That goes back to being a model for they're just like taking.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's
so anyway, yeah. I don't think I almost joined Mobe. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Mobe? Maybe
Um,
not, because you MOBE.
Yeah, I
Because
heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
yeah, they were already out of business when you got looking at affiliate marketing. They went out of business because the FTC in the United States shut them down. They went
Yeah,
in
that's
and
right. Yeah, I read about it just recently, actually.
I belonged to Mobe a year before they went out of business, and it was only like $19 a month for the thing I was to get involved. They had like the 15-day business challenge, and they had upsells. They had very expensive upsells, up to like $50,000, and
Wow.
and they were high pressure sales. You know, they're really pushing for you to buy. I did have a great business advisor at the time, and he pushy but not too pushy. And but the thing in my mind, when they after they got and then I ended up telling myself, well, I'm gonna stop for a while. I need to save up the money to come back to be able to purchase. When I get the money, I'll come back. And then when I came back, they were shut down. So I saved myself a lot of grief, especially if I would have just joined paid and then all of a sudden they got shut down. But to me, it was like, it's a person's choice. Who can twist your arm and really make you spend? You're still making that decision to spend that money yourself. You got nobody to blame but yourself. I know people can be persuaded with psychology and all of that, but it's a personal choice. And so I didn't feel that was much of a reason to shut them down, but there were other things I guess they apparently did that I didn't see that, probably wasn't so good, or they were not forthcoming on refunding people. You had that so much time to get refunded. Well,
okay.
that you should honor that. That's not good. Anyway, they got shut down, but I kind of like from what I saw, but that's it's a good lesson to learn too, because that's it. There are rules out there that companies are supposed to abide by, and they really stretched the margin there. So anyway, so it's I should probably let you go. It's 3 hours, and nothing wrong, but we can come back, and I'll probably post the whole thing on YouTube, and probably some point in the future I could come back and edit our video too. We could take where we are talking about business, we could edit that into one video. We could talk about, we could make a couple of different videos out of this potentially in the future.
Yeah,
I get my team here to do the editing. But anyway, so so I wish you well in everything that you're doing and going forward. And I appreciate the you've given me feedback. You've been, you belong to a couple of my Facebook groups, and we've chatted a bit, and I appreciate all of that friendship or working together, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me.
It goes back to that goes for me as well. It means a lot to have the possibility to exchange views of opinions, advice with somebody you can trust, is genuine and is serious with what he does.
Yeah. And that's where you build that in affiliate marketing, and that's where you're gonna do well, because just like this book that Roy referred me to here this last week, there was no affiliate linkage or nothing. He just, hey, I'm reading this book. It's really good. I can't, just it's got his attention. And that was enough for me to go take a real serious look at it and try it also. And that's what affiliate marketing is. It's a friend, recommending something that they like or they've used, and then you go purchase it and they get a commission. it's just a simple process. And so much easier when you built that trust, that integrity, that relationship, with somebody. So, because I know I was right on the page. I entered my name and email, and they wanted my financial information. Like, I don't know about these upsells, and I'm like, wait, like trying to get back to you on that to find out. Did you like, I'm more curious. And then finally, I decided it was like $89 total. And I decided to make that my September birthday present. So if I don't like my birthday present, oh well, that's life. But $89 is not going to kill me. So at least we're financially better off now. So I'm just going to do it. And I haven't even got into that material. The book itself was worth $89. So, yeah. And
the book is good.
And you got the bonuses with the book that I haven't even looked at yet. So it's a good deal. And yeah, and automation, I'm going to definitely look at that and try to paid advertising sometime this year. And I know that could be tough, and I might quit before I get, because you got it's trial and error in the beginning to find that target audience to where, boom, it's going to get selling, and it's going to pay for itself, but it's not an automatic thing. So, yeah, it's very interesting, and hopefully I can, hopefully we can, find a few other like-minded people, because that's where I kind of had that idea of the mastermind. Because when you get, people like-minded, or even some people that are, they got their little areas they're above everybody else, then you lift each other up all at the same time. And Think and Grow Rich talks about masterminds. And because it is a lot harder doing it by yourself. And that's where the Wealthy Affiliate community is great, because you don't feel like you're alone.
That's right.
It's more of a community than Legendary Marketer, because you can talk about anything, and you got our blogs we can create for Wealthy Affiliate, and it's a lot more inclusive, where Legendary Marketer is a little bit more narrow focus on things and sharing and that. But it's got its pluses though. They got them live events, live interviews every week, and live training. Just a lot of value there.
Yes, it is.
And so, and you're in Copenhagen now currently?
No, I'm in Norway. Norway? Oslo, just north of Oslo.
Okay. Oh, is there a Copenhagen, Norway? Or I don't know where I don't know where I got the Copenhagen. I saw it somewhere.
You're thinking about Denmark, Copenhagen time zone, I think.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, and Roy and I are almost cousins. I'm half Norwegian.
Yeah.
So on my father's side, his parents both immigrated from Norway in the 1800s, and later met each other and got married, and so yeah, so we've got that connection. So the name used to be spelled with a V instead of the W, and then it actually has a couple spellings. It's got V-A-L-L-E-R, but V-A-H-L-E-R. So as somebody did some genealogy for the Wallers, and it's interesting how it goes back and how people were named, and sometimes named for their profession, or sometimes named for the person they worked for, and things like that, really. But I've never been to Norway. Have not made it there yet.
It's a beautiful country. I'm patriotic, but objectively, it's a beautiful country. The nature is great, fantastic. It is. So it's worth a visit.
I'm sure I would like it, because I love the outdoors and the water, and you got the fjords and the mountains and everything. The contrast between, and even in the wintertime, it might be nice, for a short visit, but
I think you wouldn't have enjoyed yourself a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
it was down to minus 20 degrees Celsius for a very, very long time. And several places it went below 30, minus 30 degrees as well. So
yeah, I don't know how that equates to Fahrenheit, but I know a week or so it was like minus 40 Fahrenheit wind chill factor in Wisconsin. They had that really nasty cold front go through, and but it's always a great view from your living room.
yeah, it is.
Looking out the
Yes, it
window
is.
from your warm house. But yeah, they actually go out and get out there. It's but there again, that's where Wim Hof and learning about, yeah, getting in touch with the cold. You know, it's not the enemy that, you know, that it can be, you know, whatever. And I wish I would have learned that years ago, because I got caught out in a really bad snowstorm and had to try to run home. Well, I made it home, but you know, I buried my car in the snow and I had like 15 snowdrifts down the road. I had to like walk, run through, dig through to get, and it was cold. The clothes did nothing. The wind went right through your everything and you're just freezing.
Yes. Yeah.
And three people actually died that night in Wisconsin because of that storm. And they were actually, I think they were even closer to their home than I was. But anyway, I made it. And we had a lot of neighbors and I was prepared. It was, you know, 5 in the morning or something like that. I was prepared to bang on somebody's door if I thought I was too cold. I was getting numb. I was going to bang on somebody's door and wake them up, let me in.
Yeah.
But I made it, and yeah, and then you hear about 3 people dying. You're like, oh, that was pretty stupid of me to do that. But especially, I buried it in one snowdrift and had 15 bigger snowdrifts after that. I wasn't going to get home with the car. I was, you know, and then I had to pay money to have it dug out. Anyway, young and stupid.
But you survived through it.
Yeah,
lesson learned.
Another lesson learned. Yeah, and then Wim Hof gives a different perspective to that. So it's like, yeah, that would have been a good time to do a bunch of the breathing before I even got out of the car and then proceed. So anyway. Okay. Thanks a lot, Roy. If you have any final thoughts or anything, but yeah, send me, whenever you get time, send me the links to include with this. Yeah, I will send you a link of this recording. Usually Zoom, they process this and they will send me a link to this and I can send that to you as well. So you can watch the whole thing and have it for yourself. And it'll probably take me a few days to get it loaded up. We're going to have a brownout Saturday, 11 hours, no electricity. So no joy. That's something I didn't count on when I came here, but it happens a lot. But when we move to our next more final place to live, I'm going to buy a generator. Then boom, turn on the generator. We got electricity and air conditioning and we're fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very, I'm more proud of America as far as a country, and it's not talking about the government, but it's country, it's people, our way of life, and our living when I'm outside the country, because you realize how blessed you were being in America. You know, hands down. And I'm sure there are pluses in some other countries have their pluses, but the Philippines really tries my patience on a lot of things. Dental work. You want to go get some dental work done here? Oh my God. It's a nightmare. And it's going to be painful. I miss my American dentist. But anyway, and the medical, and of course now with COVID, you don't even want to go to the hospital. So really have to take care of your health and avoid that. And so many, yeah, it's not what I expected, but it's an adventure. You just have to be positive. Again, have that positive story. You know, even though you see some negative or you interpret things as being negative, but it's positive. It's a lesson learned, growth. You know, but and then there's things in America I miss, which I'm sure when you leave Norway, there's Norwegian things you miss, and
Mhm.
and sunbuckles. Do you know sunbuckles?
Sunbuckles.
Sunbuckles,
Yeah, sunbuckles. Yeah.
you know,
That's
dessert.
nice.
That was
Yeah.
a favorite food that we ate when I was lefse. Lefse,
If so, yeah.
lefse. Yeah. Oh, I
Lefse,
love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sunbuckles or lefse. That's good.
Buckles,
That's good stuff.
yeah. Sometimes I miss those things. Even I got to get the recipe from back home to be able to try to cook some of the krub. Have you eaten krub? KRUP.
Yeah, krumkake.
With the blood. It's like a dumpling, blood dumpling.
No, not that one. No.
Oh,
I don't like. It's not my favorite.
I love that. Oh my! But I don't know where I would get the blood here. But yeah, there's just those things, and of course, then they go back to your childhood memories and things. So yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, good memories.
Good memories, and then you realize the things that that you let slip by. There are so many questions, and there's something maybe with your children could maybe get some kind of an interest for or something. I don't know. I should mention it to my daughters. I have so many questions now that I didn't ask my dad, that I didn't ask my mom, things that stories that I didn't hear about. And now it's too late. They're gone. You know, now I have just more questions. You know, so yeah, you think you have forever, and then the time is gone.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to ask my dad. So
yeah, I'm thinking about it now because my dad turns 84 this summer.
oh,
So he's starting to get, he's starting to get up there in regarding age. But he's in good shape. He is, and what is very nice is he enjoys to write. So he writes his story, which he remembers, and he writes them on Facebook, on his Facebook account.
excellent.
So I go into that account on a regular basis and back it up.
Excellent. That's great.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that we should take all that material, get it organized, and written down in a book. Actually,
You could do an ebook. You can do a book and ebook.
yeah. Because then we will have something for our next generations.
Yeah.
He's very sorry.
No, that's okay. I really that's I guess another regret, but a lesson learned the hard way. I don't know. I guess we don't like to think of them dying or passing away, or you know, my dad died when he was 70, and it was just a little unexpected, and mom died after I came here, and that ended up being a nightmare scenario. But well, he's still alive. If you got any questions at all, I'd take some time and have a chat.
Yeah.
So I keep in touch with my mom's best friend, and she's just turned 81. And she's like 10 years younger than mom. And so I'm able to pick her brain at least and find out more about my mom through her. So that's kind of nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And I've learned some amazing things. Yeah. So okay. We're never going to get off. This is a never ending. No. Yeah, I did that on Spreecast. I didn't create the Spreecast. We had a 13-hour Spreecast. We had the record longest Spreecast in Spreecast history. And I was there the whole 13 hours and, you know, helped keeping guys awake. And they're like, and we did it. And there was plenty to talk about. I mean, yeah, you know, just lots of sharing and everything. And but so anyway, I'll get you the information and you give me your information, and thanks again.
Yeah.
And we can do this again in the future. And
for sure.
Yeah, it's another step in our journey.
Okay.
Thanks, Roy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Goes back to you. So take care.
Yeah. Bye now.